YTPC. Going for a little drive now. I figured I'd finally get around to doing what I saw, I think, the Bearded Welshman do with the drive around. You get to see my little neighborhood as I'm pulling out of here. I am headed to the hospital right now because my wife is in the hospital due to pains in her cramping, and that is probably due to the fact that we had a miscarriage a couple of weeks ago now. That was a little tragedy that we were going through. And since then, she's continued to have pain. So they might be doing surgery to see if there's anything left in there to be causing that. This comes on the heels of an accident her coworker got her into at work. So she's had back pains from that, neck pains. She finally got over that. Then she had the miscarriage, and now she's having the pain in her abdomen. So it's been a rough month, and that means we've had a lot of lost work. And we're having financial concerns now because she's the main breadwinner in our family at the moment. But we rely on divine providence and hope in the promises that God has given us. I'm smoking my Bones pipe at the moment with a little bit of Sky's Milk and Honey. It's one of the aromatics I have. For some reason, I was in the mood for an aromatic. I don't know why, because I really don't enjoy them that much. But this is a pretty good one. It's not overpowering or anything. Hopefully y'all keep us in your prayers and in your thoughts. To those of you who are more in tune with the truth of Jesus Christ. A little bit lighter news. It is the day after Ash Wednesday. I got my ashes yesterday. And for those of you who don't know, Ash Wednesday and Lent is the time where Catholics are required to enter into sacrifice and fasting, because we're in preparation for not only Good Friday, which is the death, the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, but we're also preparing for Easter. That's the big part, Easter, which is the resurrection. So we really do bring the scriptures to life. We don't just read the scriptures, we live the scriptures in the liturgical season. That's why the way Mass is done the way it's done. That's the reason why we have the liturgical season with the rotation of that. It's living the scriptures. And right now, we are walking with Jesus Christ. One, in his 40 days of temptation, we went to the desert. But also, we are walking his passion, right? We're doing our own sacrifice in preparation for his passion. So, in a very real way, we are living out the scriptures. We're walking with Christ. We're bringing it to life. It's not easy. And it doesn't always feel that way. But our faith is not just about feelings. Faith, prayer, it's not about how you feel. It's not like prayer. Prayer is not more legitimate, more valid because you had a good feeling, you know? It's always nice when you do have some kind of, you know, spiritual moment when you sense something. That is a comfort that God allows us to have, but it's not necessary. Nor is it sufficient. But it is a nice comfort that He allows to have sometimes. But usually, most times, we don't experience that. Most times, what we experience is drudgery, you know, the mundane parts of it. And then it just feels like another day, right? But that's where love is found, in the mundane. Because it's when you don't want to, when it's mundane, when it feels like it's just repetition, and you still do it. That's love. That's belief, and that's faith. That's why a lot of times we have so much emphasis on the cross, the crucifixion. As Catholics, we wear crucifixes, right? To remind us that, one, that is how we are saved, through the crucifixion, through His death. We are saved. The debt is paid. It's also to remind us that we need to carry our cross. We must, like Him, be crucified. And it doesn't feel good. It's not fun. But there is joy in the battle. Once again, it's not necessarily, joy is not a feeling. Happy is a feeling. The joy of the Lord is our strength, not the happiness of the Lord. Not the feel good. So, with Ash Wednesday, we enter into the season of Lent. By the way, I hope my brother Catholics out there, if anyone's watching, is a Catholic. Remember, Ash Wednesday is that holy day of obligation. So I hope you didn't miss it. If you did, go to confession and get right with God again. As He commanded us to do at the end of John, when He said, when the scriptures tell us He breathed on them and said, receive the Holy Spirit, whose sins you retain are retained, and whose sins you forgive are forgiven. The key word there is retain, thus showing that we are to confess our sins. And the priest is able to retain those sins, and he can't decide whether to forgive or retain them unless we are told. We tell them our sins. And it's not just to a man, but rather you could say a middleman, right? We're telling it to Jesus, I should say. Let me put it that way. Let me back up. Let me replace what I just said. We're telling the sins to Jesus, and that priest is a stand-in. He's a representative of the church and of Christ. That's simply the way He set it up. That's the way Jesus commanded us to live. And if you love me, you will follow my commandments. And so that's what we do. So when we fall, we get back up. Lord knows I've fallen. I have missed Mass. Had to go to confession. We committed other sins in my life. I'm not perfect. That's the beauty and wonder of our faith. That there's a way out of sin. There is salvation. And I believe it was Cainrod Piper who talked about delayed gratification. Oh man, is that a word for today, huh? Whew. I am guilty of that one, of not delaying gratification. I saw a pipe I wanted and I couldn't wait to get it. Oh, well, someone almost caused an accident. Anyway, I couldn't wait to get it. So what did I do? I went and bought it. That's not a good way to live. Not financially, not morally. Because what we do in the material world, what we do with stuff like that, affects our spiritual life. That's where the faith and works comes in. They both are necessary. A man who lives on his works will not enter heaven. A man who lives by faith only and has no works also will not enter heaven. He needs both. Faith and works. We put our faith into action. And that's not such a bizarre thing to say, really, if you think about it. It's rare that I've ever met anyone that has faith and doesn't put that faith into work, by the way. There are those who believe in faith alone, but even those people put their faith into work. They put it to work. They make acts of faith. So, there you go. You need both. That being said, I have met some people who are so-called believers, right? I have faith. I believe. But they don't put that faith to work. Generally, they call themselves spiritual, not religious. The problem I have with that sentiment is that as soon as you put your spiritual life into any kind of formula, any kind of action, in other words, if you pray, you say a prayer, or you act in such a way that your beliefs have dictated. In other words, I'm a Christian, therefore I do this, right? As soon as you put those things together, you have now formulated a religion. Because religion is how we worship God. That's what religion is. So if you've decided that, no, I think God needs to be worshipped in X, Y, Z way, well, then you are religious. You just don't like the words religion. Which I don't understand why, because Jesus commanded that. He built a church. Anyway, I'm going to stop ranting on about the religion stuff. I'm sorry. I just got on a tangent there, and it just kept coming out. I have to remind you, I did go to Catholic seminary at one time, studying for the priesthood, so that's still in me in the sense of I start to talk and I just keep going. And sometimes I don't know when to shut up. So I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to make that a whole religious rant. I'm just excited about it's Ash Wednesday. We're preparing for the holiest time of the year, because after Lent comes Easter, and Easter's the holiest time of the year. So I started going off on that. I plan on making a video too with my wife. She wants to get in on this. I think she has some kind of, she sees it as fun. So maybe we'll do that next time. And here we are. I'm coming up to the hospital. So I'm going to cut it off here. If you've listened to this entire thing and you're not offended in any way, God bless you. And thank you for being understanding. I will catch you all later. God bless. Take care. Be humble. Be thankful. Be grateful. You never know when it's going to get taken away. You never know when you might end up in a place like this, the hospital. You never know when the judgment, oh God, I can't get it out. Well, you don't know when judgment will come for you. For you, seeing the Lord will be maybe tomorrow. Maybe in an hour from now. So you never know what's going to happen. So make sure you're right with God and be humble, be thankful, be grateful. And I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.